Okay everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Bloodborne DLC. Now, I'm going to tell you that Audacity kind of just hates me because I recorded this in live commentary, and apparently it didn't actually start recording until about 49 minutes in. I don't know why. Like, if it just didn't record period, I would have understood it a bit better. But like the 50-minute mark, it just started recording instead of the solid blank line. So, we're going to be doing this in post-commentary, because that's the only way I can do this, unless you just don't want commentary, because I can't go back in time and do it all again. This is what we're going to have to do. Which is a real shame, considering I went on a big ramble about, I think I had a nightmare the other night, and I guess I could go into a bit more about that, but I'm not going to at the moment. This is going to be me trying to find the Forbidden Woods thing. I, at the time, had thought that it's apparently an old Yarnum. But this is not a total bust. I think I got a few extra items here. Pro tip, it's not actually in Old Yarnum. It's actually in the Cathedral District. For anybody, it's actually like, is this actually the way? No, it's really not. It's also to show that there are enemies here that I just kind of skipped, considering I think I just, like, I fought all the werewolves, or ran from the werewolf that's up there, but... Oh man, this is gonna be a long one. My throat is already sore because I normally don't talk for an hour at a time. Like, the most I ever talk to anybody, ever, is pretty much you. If you're listening, I don't talk to many people, so I'm kinda... This is new territory for me, having to talk for 2 hours straight. So, I don't remember anything else being back here, except maybe an item. Yeah, the item to my right, I think it's like souls or blood echoes. Yeah, it's blood echoes, essentially. And how you all doing out there? Hopefully your days went a bit better than mine, because... I, kind of get annoyed when stuff doesn't work for really no apparent reason and starts working for no apparent reason, but it's far too late for it to actually matter. The worst part is I actually did a sound check beforehand. Before somebody says, you should have done a sound check, I did a sound check. It worked just fine for the 10 seconds I recorded, and then when I started recording the next time, it just didn't work, apparently, and I didn't check it the second time. Oh man. We're recording Let's Plays. You always run into technical difficulties. You will become a master of technical difficulties if you ever record Let's Plays, because they're gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna have to deal with it, or just not gonna record, or you're just not going to upload anything ever again. I think I was looking to see if there's anything up there. Like, I'm not even really looking at the screen half the time I'm playing. I'm doing this recording. I really should be, considering that's kind of, you know, it's kind of the thing. And I think that was one of those big things down there, the things in the raggedy clothes. I don't want to call them Raggedy Ann, but I couldn't really think of another name that goes with Raggedy. I mean, Raggedy Ann's kind of a character. You can't really argue that. So, what I believed was the entrance to the Forbidden Woods was actually the entrance to Yahar Ghul. I believe if you fight Parl, Dark Beast Parl, I couldn't remember his name the first time I fought it. Or I tried to get through that door. I think I just said that electric stingy. Which works just as well. I mean, it's just a big electric thing. That's annoying as hell to fight. So, I really have no idea to talk about, considering I just talked for an hour. So I guess I'll just kind of wing it. So, if anybody out there's actually played Bloodborne to this point in the game, you probably are wondering just why I'm still getting hit by these things. I wish I had a good answer for you. I do not. Mainly just because dodging does not come naturally to me, and I doubt it ever will. Oh, that's right, because the controller. The controller almost went out on me. Everything's like failing this particular thing, but by God, I'm gonna get this recorded and set up on YouTube. Oh yes. Okay, so now that I got that settled, I had to actually redo all that because I'd rather you not see my real name, even though you could figure it out if you really wanted to. Let's get going and try and, well, on this futile effort to actually find it when it's not even in the right area. The only reason I know that off the top of my head is because I just did it, and yes, I thought there's an item back here. Turns out there actually isn't. It's just a freaking, well, enemy. No real reason to go back there. I mean, you just skip it, unless you want to try and roll your dice and get an item drop from the thing, though I don't really think those things drop too much, except maybe like a blood vial. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. I think I made a witty remark about a prostate exam at this point. Don't remember why. Hell of a random thing to bring up, but I do remember I made a few off-color remarks that I regret making now, and I don't know why I brought it back up, even if I regret it. But I don't know. I'm just trying to. I know post-commentary is not nearly as exciting as the live commentary. I can't really help that though, like I brought up before. On the plus side, though, this whole thing did teach me a lesson. I think I either need to get a new microphone. I really need to replace my laptop, but I don't really have the money for it. Because I'm recording all this on my laptop right now, okay? The laptop's getting old. Old, and it's starting to break down. Like, the USB ports on this thing are not really that well. I could get a USB... What's the word? A USB... Like... Oh, crap. It's something you just, like, plug in and plug in a bunch of USBs into that. USB port, like, anyway, I should probably get one of those if I don't want to actually replace the whole laptop, but I hate having to replace a whole laptop, but if I don't do it, I mean, these kind of things are just going to keep happening, and it's just a hell of a lot more time wasted for me. Now, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, because I'm going to do this, I'm going to need to do it caffeinated. Ah, there we go. Hopefully you didn't just hear me putting the coffee thing back on the table, but if I'm going to be doing this, I need my coffee. I've been trying to break myself of the daily coffee habit. It's the first time I drank it in a couple weeks, so I guess you could consider this falling off the wagon. I mean, caffeine's still a drug, and this is the point where I realized I done screwed up. And really just cursed my existence because I just wasted 6-7 minutes of time. And let's see, brainstorming. Where the hell is it? Just paraphrasing what I just, was going on about at the time. So, the plan at this point is to go back to the Hunter's Dream, back to the No, I don't want to go to the Grand Cathedral. I'd want to go to the... What's the Aetherite? What's the lantern? Oh, crap. I forget what the name of that lantern is. Odon Chapel? I think, no. Yeah, Odon Chapel, I think, is the one you want to go back to after this. Once you actually find your way back, which I finally did, and realized where I was. Oh man, you can tell what game I've been playing a lot lately, and I mean a lot. It does feel good to waking up to 150,000 gil a day, though. That's cool. So yes, I am making progress for anybody who's actually followed my Final Fantasy XIV series. I'm not done with it. I just wanted to take a break to play some Bloodborne. Because not many people were actually watching the Final Fantasy thing anyway, so this was kind of a win-win. But yes, I've been loving my crafters in Final Fantasy XIV for anybody interested. I've gotten 3 to 50, 1 to 37, and I'm well on my way to a 4th to 50. Because I'm going to be an Omnicrafter and make a whole lot of money, hopefully. But back on to Bloodborne, because if you're watching this, you probably don't give two craps about Final Fantasy XIV. You're here for Bloodborne, and I don't blame you. So we're going to level up strength again, I think, because I want to get that up to 30, even though I think Glasgow told me you only need, like, what, 16 or 18 for the weapon? I don't remember the exact number, but he was nice enough to tell me. But I think 30 is the soft cap on strength, so I kind of want to just get up to 30 first anyway. Not 31st, but 30 first, if you get what I'm saying here. I worded very poorly and very confused-like, which I think is even worse wording. The point here is, well, you get what I'm saying. And now we can get going to Odon Chapel, which for some reason I thought was this thing. It is not. Now, the Forbidden Woods, if you watched my first Let's Play, you know exactly how long it took me to get through the Forbidden Woods. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2 hours. That's not even counting the boss battle, which I think I one-shot, but that's not even counting the boss battle. I think it took me 2 hours to even get through the thing, to unlock the boss fight. And I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna take just about as long this time as well. Because, I mean, I guess I kind of just spoiled whether we kill a boss today or not, but, no, we didn't. But we did go through a hell of a lot of things, and I actually show you how to speedrun this place, or the first half of this place. If you've never done it before, this will show you exactly how to get through it very easily without getting hit. Or if you do get hit, well, you might get bit in the butt by a dog once or twice, so. It was mainly just out of necessity, because I just was so lazy I did not want to go back through the whole thing, killing everything, so I just kind of did it that way. Now, I think I was really just confused, like, where are all the enemies at? Weren't there enemies in this here courtyard? To which the answer is apparently no. Once you kill Amelia, these things are just no longer here. They just don't bother you anymore because they don't exist anymore. Which confused the hell out of me. I remember the giants went to sleep, but I didn't remember things just disappearing, but apparently they do in Bloodborne. Of course, the downside is I think if you have more than 15 insight here, the... what's the word? The scythe users? Oh god, this. I think the scythe users were buffed if you have more than 15 insight. This is the point where I went, oh damn, I never actually unlocked that gate because I'm lazy. And a few curse words were uttered, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, it just gives you a new perspective of, I gotta go and do this now, because I didn't do it before, and I don't want to have to go through this again. Luckily, though, it's not really that bad to open it now, since we already have the shortcut over here. And by over here, I mean, of course, up these flights of stairs, past the Snatcher, and I think up to the left. There's, yeah, 2 gates I think you have to open over here. Considering I was so gung-ho to just kill Amelia, I said, screw everything else, I'm just gonna go to my way. Because if you go right, that leads to Amelia. If you go left, well, the way I never actually opened because I'm lazy. Because I never really had to. Oh, jeez. Any normal person would just kill these things and go on their way. But not me. No, that's too easy. And don't even ask me how I got hit there. I think I got hit in the backswing by his staff. Please don't take that out of context, okay? Getting hit by some guy's staff. I guess you could. I mean, Viola is a female, but that's not really what I was going for there. There's no agenda there. But, I mean, lore-wise, Viola is much more of a hard-ass than Callus was. Callus got killed over and over and over in these places, right? Viola's like dies rarely. Now, sure, you could say, well, that's because you've gotten quite a bit better at Bloodborne, and, you know, you've been through it before, you know what to expect. Yes. But it doesn't change the fact that Viola, the character, hardly ever dies compared to my first, you know, Callus. But Callus was always supposed to be just a stubborn jackass who just does not give up. I haven't really come up with a particular story for Viola, though, so I don't really know. Oh, that scared the crap out of me just now, even. Thankfully, since they are weak to pierce attacks, credit to Thorn Bloodrose for letting me know about that, because I'm going to abuse the crap out of that every chance I get, and I think I skipped an item back there after looking at it, but I forgot I was going to go with that now. Well, crap. Forgot exactly what I was going to say. And I somehow stumbled my way to where we're actually supposed to go. Because Alfred, he knows where to go. He knows what's up. He'll guide me. Good guy, Alfred. Good guy, Alfred. Brock, doesn't he, like, do some heinous act later? Yes. But it's against a horrible person, so I don't really care. I know. People are just going, dude, we know. You're an executioner. Just stop talking about it.
Get the door, Amos. Get the door. No.
Yeah, that was me basically just waiting it out, seeing if is he ever going to just shut up. Apparently, yes he does. And I also missed something my very first time through the game. I never really tried to figure out who was talking to me, until I realized, wait a minute, there's a prompt here. Wait a minute, that's the guy? Oh, sweet, let's talk to him. He looks awful dead, though. Can he talk? Why didn't I push the button? Okay, there we go. No, he's just dead. Which raises up certain other questions like, who opened the door? Were you hearing things? Is it some mystical death force? Did the Grim Reaper just allow him to live for an extra few seconds and then just went deanimated? We don't know. I'm going with schizophrenia. Because that makes the most sense of anything else in this universe. People going mad. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing of this game. People slipping from sanity, you know, the whole thing. It's a Lovecraftian nature. Which I really just going off on a tangent here. I'm apologize for this, but I really wish they would have went with like a sanity meter, kind of like what's the word? Maybe not a sanity meter like Eternal Darkness, but more of like a Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth thing going on. But they didn't. It's a big opportunity wasted, but that's probably been a lot more difficult to implement in a Souls game. Granted. You never played Dark Corners of the Earth, Call of Cthulhu? I believe it was like if you saw something really messed up, your character got, well, scared as hell, because, as you rightly should. But it was more along the lines of, if you see too much messed up stuff and don't do anything about it, your character would eventually just kill themselves. So you had to try and, you know, help your mental condition out, and, yeah. It was annoying, but fun. Which I really need to make a Let's Play of that eventually, I really do. Problem is, I don't remember jack about that game. Oh, right, this guy. I had a hell of a lot of trouble my first little bit into the Forbidden Woods here. Excuse me, not that guy in particular. You'll know when I get in real big trouble here. And I got mad. Mad. You can usually tell when I get mad if I'm not doing live commentary by just how stupid I act. And I'm sure somebody's gonna go, I did the same thing. Whoops. But I guess it's just what I call stupid. Some people call a misplay. I guess I'm a little more harsh on myself, something like that, you know. Matter of fact, I think it was right up here. Because it's a big guy right up here, isn't it? Like an executioner? Or am I just like off on the geography here? No, that'd be him. That would be him. Because I got scared and just like, oh god. I don't really know how to time these guys. You know, they're not... I was almost close there. And I didn't realize they can jump about 20 feet laterally. How this happens with that kind of mass is beyond me. But instead of actually fighting them, I decided there must be something pretty good behind him. So, screw him. I'm just gonna go steal your crap, and I'm gonna leave. Because I'm a man who realizes when he's beat, and there's no sense in just trying to win a losing battle. If you know you're not skilled enough, that's just going to lead to your death. And I'm not skilled enough. Not at this point. Well, actually, probably never, because I usually relied on just jibbing those things with a two-hand and just stun-locking them when I had a really, really powerful weapon. That, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't actually hit by that cleaver, but I guess it was like an AoE thing that my Kirk hammer sometimes employs. And this was just sheer stubbornness. Like, I'm not fighting it. And if I try and fight it, I'm gonna die, because I die in 2 hits. And he's pretty good at hitting me. Which also means I suck at dodging, but, you know, if you've watched any of my Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne series before this, you already will know this. Oh, man. I think I also went into a rant about shields again, about how I wish they were viable, but, you know, this is just not the game for they're going to be viable. I need to accept that, I need to move on, but it's just hard to do that. Especially when I've been such an avid supporter of the series. It's like, why do you punish me? Because you want all of us to feel pro with dodging? Is that your vision for the game? I respect that, but I don't like it. Oh, yes, the lantern. The thing I had a hell of a lot of trouble finding for no real reason. And I didn't even see the move. I'm surprised I actually managed to see that moving out of the corner of my eye when I was playing, because I didn't see it just now. Right, well, this is where you can basically just start speedrunning from this point on. I guess you could have speed ran from the previous, but I didn't really think about it too much. This doesn't open until the very end of the session, if I remember correctly, because I finally found it. But this would be the actual beginning, what I would call the beginning of the Forbidden Woods. I don't technically call what we just went through for the Forbidden Woods, even though I guess it really was. Mainly because, well, we're right past the lantern. I'm kind of particular about what I classify as the beginning of areas, though it really makes no difference when you think about it. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure this place reminds me of that one area in Dark Souls 2. Like that, the Executioner's Chariot area? What the hell was that place called? It had 2 bosses. One was the Skeleton Trio, and the other one was the Executioner's thing. Doesn't it? It looks like just like it, with that bridge in the woods and everything. And maybe that's just me. But it kind of looks like it. Maybe a little bit, if you squint your eyes a little bit, you know. Also, I believe that's a trap, right? I nearly just walked right over. I think. Anyway, be right back.